Hello everybody, it's Leo here with LiveBellinghamNow, and I'm with Ingrid, owner of Peak Hydration, and we're in the heart of downtown, and we're actually going to get hooked up to some IV bags today.
Yeah.
Our team is going to be getting as hydrated as possible, and that's the extent of what I know. I just know it's really valuable to stay hydrated and to continue to put good stuff in your body. Tell me a little bit more about, putting stuff directly into your bloodstream, like good nutrients and supplements versus ingesting.
I'm Ingrid Nishiyama. I am a registered nurse, and we are at Peak Hydration, Elective IV Therapy Lounge in downtown Bellingham. I've been a nurse for 15 years. I've done traditional hospital nursing essentially up until this point, ER, OR, ICU. I got into nursing to help people. I've been fascinated with medicine and how the body works since I was young, and I always knew that it was the area that I wanted to get into. As far as elective IV therapy goes, I was first exposed to it about 6 or 7 years ago in a different state, and it really intrigued me both from kind of a personal and a health side, but also a business venture, and it was always in the back of my mind as something that was intriguing to me, but not something I actually thought I would do. So elective IV therapy is taking not just hydration, that is one major component of it, but different combinations of vitamins, minerals, amino acids, and other essential nutrients and putting them directly into the bloodstream. The benefit of this is that you're bypassing the digestive process where a lot of nutrients and even fluids can be lost. And so it's putting it in your body in an almost 100% usable way, which is obviously most beneficial to get those nutrients into your system for fuel and hydration in your body. So it can be beneficial for a lot of reasons. I think a lot of people have come to know IV therapy as kind of the hangover cure in Vegas, but a lot of people don't know the extent of what elective IV therapy can do. There are a lot of reasons and a lot of people that it can help. People with chronic autoimmune issues, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. There is a classic cocktail called the Myers cocktail invented in the 1950s by a physician named Dr. John Meyer in Baltimore, that he created this vitamin and mineral concoction to help all of these patients, and it had great success. We get firefighters in here who get repair bags with the glow to help combat oxidative stress from their jobs. People who have maybe stomach flu or food poisoning. I've been seeing that a lot this week actually. They go to urgent care to get some fluids because they're not keeping any fluids and their electrolytes off, and urgent care doesn't do that, but they can come here, get the same thing that they would get going to the ER, but at a fraction of the price and in a much nicer setting. See what else? Fatigue, we give vitamin B12 shots where you can put extra vitamin B12 in the bag. So it's a combination of hydration and fueling. A lot of our foods are depleted in the nutrients that we think that we are getting from them or we'd like to be getting from them for a lot of factors. And so, a lot of us are nutrient depleted in a lot of ways. I have a lot of nutrient deficiencies, especially with B vitamins. And so, that's why almost all of our bags contain quite a few B vitamins, and it's just a really great way to give your body the essential nutrients and building blocks it needs to complete vital functions. Well, over the years, having worked in hospitals and things, I definitely, I've had just some IV fluids, and it's just, you feel great, right? It gives you some hydration, a little bit of a boost. And so I'd always wondered, wow, there were different times in my life I had thought it would just be really great to be able to have a bag of IV fluids right now, and how amazing would it be if it had some vitamins and minerals in it. That was before I even knew it was a thing. So the first time I did have a bag with nutrients in it, I wouldn't say it was like this epiphany, to be honest. I knew it was fueling my body, and I could feel the effects of it helping. But there are different various responses of how people feel from it, and they're all normal. Some people do have an immediate response of like, wow, I feel really great. I can feel a tangible difference. Some people don't have a marked difference that they feel, but the nutrients are still helping their bodies. So it just kind of depends on each individual person and their chemistry and their own personal health and body status at the time.
How does one start an IV wellness lounge?
Well, My motto is where there's a will, there's a way. So I obviously, as a nurse, had no background in starting a business. So, I do what most people do nowadays, and I Googled it. And, you just start one step at a time. We got our professional, our PLLC, and we just, started working on the list. Obviously, you have to have some kind of medical background or somebody in the business who does, because these are still technically medical procedures. So my co-owner is Dr. Heather Honey. She's a physician in town, and so she's our medical director. As all of these, we have to have standing orders for these procedures. So the interesting part was finding out the regulations, and elective IV therapy is actually really surprisingly very underregulated, which is surprising, kind of scary, honestly, which is why we really strive to do things well and do them right. We have very high standards, even though, this is a beautiful coffee shop kind of feel, and it's not kind of a sterile medical practice feel. We still do everything like, a well-run medical practice with orders and charting. We do vital signs. We listen to heart and lungs. We do a thorough health intake. We mix everything under a sterile hood. We use all hospital-grade sterile supplies. And the quality of what we're giving you too is, not only high quality ingredients and nutrients, because they're not all created equal, but the quantities that we put in our bags as well. We really strive to give really substantial doses of nutrients to fuel your body, and not just putting a couple things in and marketing it as something. And I think that's really important for an educated consumer to know if they do visit other places, is find out what their practice is, find out what their standards are, compare what they're putting in a bag compared to other places, because it could be called the same thing and be totally different. So that's a really important point, I think, for people to know. Well, why Bellingham? Because there wasn't one here. I moved here about 4 years ago, and I was really shocked that there wasn't one already here. With the community of people we have really active people, health-minded people. I was just really shocked there wasn't one already here. So I waited. Every year I thought, all right, someone's gonna put one in this year, someone's gonna put one in this year, and nobody ever did. So finally last year I said, all right, I'm gonna put one in this year. So that's why Bellingham. People were traveling to Seattle and Canada to get these services, and now they don't have to. They can do it right here in beautiful Bellingham. I really just like to talk to the person. Obviously, I'm looking over their health intake to make sure that, everything that we're offering to them, we can safely give them, and there aren't any exclusionary criteria. Otherwise, I really like to just find out what's going on with them. Like, what's their daily life like? How have they been feeling lately? Has there been anything going on with them? Inflammation, pain, exhaustion, whatever it might be, to make a recommendation specifically for that person on that day with that bag. I really like the Glow. It's a super nutrient dense bag packed with a lot of great nutrients. It has two really powerful antioxidants, N-acetylcysteine and glutathione, which really work well in conjunction with each other in the liver. They're also, when taken orally, N-acetylcysteine is considered probably bioavailable at 9% of what you're taking orally, and glutathione is usually a negligible amount. Some sources say up to 25%, but not a lot of what you're taking orally are you getting. But when you get it in the bloodstream, you're getting 100% of those. So it's just a really great bag to kind of heal the body. I usually put some zinc in there, sometimes some extra vitamin C. So that's probably my go-to bag. I love providing a great workplace for, the few staff members that we have, the nurses. I like being the boss and employer that I always wanted to be. And I really enjoyed just connecting with other small business owners. It was something I hadn't even realized would happen, but just how welcoming the small business community has been in large part. How this kind of mentality of, if one succeeds, we all succeed, has been just really awesome to get to know. Downtown Bellingham Partnership has been really awesome, really supportive organization. Really do a great job at working to, bring the businesses together and work to just better the downtown, which is really great. Of course, I love our location in this beautiful old building. This is Chuckanut limestone, and the old downtown hardware sales building. So it's historic, which is really cool, overlooking the bay and the pump track. It's a beautiful view. So yeah, it's really been enjoyable to be downtown. So we do a full set of vital signs before every bag. We also listen to heart and lungs, and then we do some quick vital signs at the end too.
Make sure you're still alive.
Make sure that we haven't dropped your blood pressure too much with the magnesium, or likewise caused a cellular shift and made your blood pressure go too high. with some of the more nutrient-dense bags. Sometimes it can cause a bit of a cellular shift.
Okay.
It will pull some of the fluid out of the cell while all those nutrients are trying to get in, and it can cause a temporary elevation in blood pressure.
Not the goal.
Not the goal. All right, 4 deep breaths in and out for me. All right, just lean back and breathe normally. All right, looks good.
I'm here at Peak Hydration just getting a immune boost bag with the rest of the team here, and about 20 minutes into it, feeling good.
I'm just here at Peak Hydration with my friends and business partners, and we are getting hooked up to the juice. We are getting lots of key hydration elements, nutrients, and antioxidants put into our system so that we can operate at our absolute best. I got the Fatigue Fighter Myers cocktail with a glutathione push.
I have the Immune Boost IV going with added zinc and vitamin C. I had to look at my bag, and feeling pretty good so far. I think we still have probably about 40 more minutes on the drip here, and just having a good time.
Awesome. How did the needle insertion go for you?
It went well. I had to look away though. Leo looked directly at his arm, and I couldn't do that.
So I am doing an Immune Boost IV. I've never done an IV treatment before, so it's a very new experience and sensation, but so far so good, I think. So. And how did the whole thing feel for you? I mean,
Do you have an arm preference?
well, that's probably fine.
Okay.
Whichever. I don't know why I'm anxious. It's fine.
It's okay.
Not horrible, so it's definitely, I mean, it's always less stressful than I think it is, but it's always the build up to it. I'm not the biggest, I'm not afraid of needles, but I'm the biggest needle person, so I'm just I'm going through it, and I'm just very, there's no needle in there anymore, but I'm just, I'm like, oh, it happened, so yeah. I don't know.
So we also offer Botox, both personal and cosmetic. We have a weight loss program, and we are also going to be bringing on a dietitian soon for sports-related nutrition, weight loss-related nutrition, and just in general nutrition. Come on in and check us out today. Just love people to know, how many things, fluids and electrolytes, basic nutrients can really help. And so one of the things we love to do is educate people. We love to educate people on the benefits of it, all the things it can be beneficial for, and just what it can do for your body. I think it's a very underknown, facet of what people can do to help themselves. And especially in this modern day and age, people are looking for how they can be healthier, how they can do beneficial things for their bodies. And so, even if people are a little skeptical or afraid of the process, we'd be happy for you to come in, show you what we do, explain it, have you watch, teach you about what's going on here, and that's it. We really just like to help people out.
More good content. This is what it feels like when you get a bag.
Yeah, there you go.
It's back.